Not
Because
necessarily.
I think part of the problem is still the fact that women are feeling undervalued. And
Yeah,
not
I
wanting
get
to be
that they
valued
may
for
still,
sex.
but
And so
you would agree it would be vastly superior, right?
I don't necessarily agree, because you marry somebody who just values you for sex, and then if that's the only thing and you're still not feeling valued
Well, what
for
do
a
you
person.
think men value women for? Do you think what do you think that they're valuing them for? Like their credit cards? What do you think they value women? They value women because they want to have sex with them. They want them to have their children. That's the main value that women have to men. Like, what do you think the big value is women are bringing to the table absent sex? I actually want to know the answer to that question.
This is such a pointless
Love and
conversation.
friendship.
Love and friendship.
Yeah.
You can get friendship from men. Why do you need friendship from women?
It's friendship with all these extra benefits, sharing your whole life with somebody, having a child with them, merging worldviews.
Sex.
Huh?
Sex. But so I mean, so instead of when you're saying friend, the distinction between you being a friend with a guy and you having a wife is your wife is your friend who you also have sex with. It sounds like the value here still seems to be the sex. Because you can have all those other conditionals with other people, but the sex seems to be the thing you are putting a value emphasis on.
I disagree, and I don't think sex should be the primary value, because sex is kind of replaceable. I think the value that you get in a relationship is that merging of worldviews.
What do you bring to the table?
What do I bring to the table?
Yeah, in a relationship.
I think I bring a unique perspective, and I can help you live a more fulfilling life.
You think men date you because you bring them a unique perspective?
Yeah, I think I have given my partner a unique perspective, and I think I've helped him to start living a more fulfilling life, and I've led him to being a better person.
Doesn't every human being on planet Earth have a unique perspective?
No.
No, they're not. No.
No,
How could two human beings not have unless you're saying all human beings are not unique?
Sure, I would say a lot of people have, you could say down to there's some differences between people, but I think there's a lot of overlap and shared worldviews.
So you want to be valued, so you're one of those, I want to be valued for more than just my sexuality, right?
Yeah.
Okay, what do you want to be valued for? What do you want to be valued for?
Yeah, I guess that's a good question that I don't have. I want to be valued for who I am as a person.
Okay, but why wouldn't you be valued for who you are as a person, and the highest value that the man has with you is still the sex? I don't get that. I still value you as a person. I think you're great. I think you're wonderful, this and that. But the not having sex thing, that's a deal breaker. That seems reasonable.
I think I would want to be, I don't think I would want sex to be at the top of that list.
Why?
What I'm valued for. Would you want a woman to value you most for the money that
Would
you
I
provide?
want my woman to value having sex with me more than anything? Oh, it's terrible. Oh, no, what would I do? What would I ever do if a woman only valued as her top priority having sex with me? Oh, it's terrible. How would I ever get through the day? She didn't love my big brain and big mind, and she only valued sex as her highest priority I don't know how I could live.
I don't know. Maybe that shows that's how you value yourself, is for what you have to offer.
Wait, I
sexually.
have a question for you. Would you date a guy who lived with his parents?
Yes.
You would?
Yeah. My first boyfriend, he didn't live with his parents.
Yeah,
but-
you were you're 29. That was when you were 23.
Sure.
So you want to have kids one day?
Yeah.
Okay. So you'd be totally cool dating a guy who lived with his parents?
Well, my prerequisite for having kids, because I never wanted kids until my current partner, was that if we're going to have kids, I need to be able to be at home and raise the kids, because I don't want them raised by the system.
So you want to be a stay-at-home mom?
I would try to work from home.
What kind of income? Don't you live in one of the highest cost of living areas in California? You said you're from the Bay?
Mm-hmm.
Isn't it like...
We're outside of the Bay, so it's a little lower. But
Okay,
yeah.
well, in any case, California is still high cost of living. So, and you don't want to be working, so your partner has to work, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
That is the
So-
requirement if we're to have kids. I don't think that's unreasonable, because I think it's important for
Right.
a mom to raise.
So
a
then
child.
you look to a man to provide,
Sure.
okay? Don't you think that in the same way you feel about your and I actually think it's a bit of a straw man that men only care about sex, but let's just grant it. So the same way that you think men think that about women, you think that about men. You simply look at men as how they can provide for you.
I don't. My partner wants to have children, and that was the agreement that we had. It's like, I'm okay with
You
having
wouldn't
a kid.
date him. You would not date him if he was not able to provide
If
for
he
you.
didn't want kids,
Let's say he did.
he does want kids, and that is the condition
So there's a condition.
in order for us to have kids.
Right.
I wouldn't leave him if he decided, like, sorry, I can't do that.
What if he still wanted to have kids, but he couldn't provide?
I would say, sorry, I'm not having kids.
Okay. So if women are sex objects, then men are success objects.
I'm not valuing him on his success. It's the practicality reason for raising a child. Like, I don't want to be the kind of person that just has
Okay.
the school system raise
We've
a
been
child.
lingering on this for too long. One last thing, you'd said that you take an issue with men lying in order to get sex, correct? So for example, a man claiming that he wants long-term commitment, but he doesn't in
Sure.
order to get sex.
Yeah.
That would be lying.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever told somebody you would love them forever?
Yes.
Have you told your current partner that?
Yes.
Is it possible something could happen down the line where you guys no longer,
No.
you think it's impossible that you guys
Yeah.
are going to stay together
Okay,
forever?
well, you can agree, though, right, that it's logically possible. Whether you think that it would actually happen, it's logically possible.
he-
Like Wolverine, logically possible, but Wolverine doesn't exist, right?
I don't know
let
the
me
answer
ask
to
you a
that
question. Do
question.
you think that there are couples out there where either the man or the woman has said to their partner, I will love you forever,
Yeah.
and then they broke up or got divorced? Has that happened?
Yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, these are just kind of statements of affection that people say to each other.
Okay.
They're not binding, really.
Sure.
Okay. So if you tell someone, I will love you forever, that's not like binding. You're not obliged to actually love them forever, even though you've said it.
Sure.
Okay, but so your argument is that, well, men claim, like these men say they want long-term relationships, but then they end up not, or they break up with a girl.
Sure.
Okay, so like I'm just trying to understand, like, men make these like comments in an effort to what is your actual argument? I'm just confused here. Men lie? Is that the argument?
Not men, all of them, but enough of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
So women who wear makeup in an effort to be more physically appealing to men, is that a deception?
Yeah.
Okay.
Are women manipulating men when they say they'll take that vow, I'll love you forever through sickness and health, and then they initiate 80% of divorces?
That's a good point.
I don't think necessarily. I think there are people that will
What if
lie.
they lie just to secure those resources, now securing alimony, now securing child
a good
support?
argument.
Yeah, if
and
they're-
then
sorry.
they just said, I
If-
don't love
That's a
you.
good
My
argument.
feelings have changed. I don't love you anymore.
If that's
they
their-
broke their vow.
If that is their intention when they're marrying the person, is that like I don't actually have a intention to follow through with you? Yeah, that's
What if that's not their intention initially, but wouldn't that still be a manipulation?
if
Because they broke their vow.
So if like when they're getting married, the person in her mindset who's marrying this man is and eventually going to divorce him, her mind is that I love this man and I'm going to marry him and I want to spend the rest of my life with him and I'm not going to leave him, and then she gets married to him, and then she decides later on down the line that she or realizes that she doesn't actually love him.
No, what I think happens, I don't know if it's that, I think women hit like a certain age, they realize, oh shit, I want to have kids, so I wasted my 20s doing whatever, now who's around, okay, this guy will do, I want my kids, they marry him, they make that vow forever, and then their feelings change, I'm not in love with him anymore, so they are like,
I mean, I think, yeah, you could probably make an argument that that's a similar case where the woman is probably not being totally honest with herself about her motives
or him,
with
so
that
she's
man.
manipulating
Yeah.
him for his resources.
Yeah.
Wait, so hold on. Coming back to this. So did you say that it would constitute SA if a guy lied to a woman about his intentions, his romantic intentions, in order to get her into bed? So he says, baby, I want to be in a long-term relationship with you. He fucks her and then dips. Is that SA?
I wouldn't. I don't know how I feel about that, but I would say at the very least it's cruel, and it's going to give people a false impression. I think one
Okay.
of the worst things about SA and why a lot of women say they fear it is because that feeling of being completely used and dehumanized and disregarded as a person. And so when somebody's doing that to you just because they want sex, I think it can have a similar impact, and it's going to impact your worldview of men, and it's going to push women into this more radicalized position against men.
Okay. Well, so then would it be equally wrong then for a woman to bait a man into being physically attracted to her through use of makeup and other cosmetics?
No.
Okay.
What about women who manipulate men to get money online? How about that?
Yeah, I think that's just as bad. I think that would be like probably pretty traumatic to be a man and you think that a woman wants to be with you and they're giving you all these signs and then they just get some money from you and they dip. I think that would be equally traumatic.
All right. Well, I do have to move things on a little bit